Pentax to announce a new K1 camera as well as some lenses. A surprise guess as who tops the Japanese full-frame and APS-C camera market, and the R6 starts shipping. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss out on any news, rumors, or tutorials. And all the links to everything I talk about in this video, including gear discussed, and the Canon R5 giveaway contest details are placed in the description below along with my affiliate links. Need camera gear or want to support this channel? Well, just simply consider using the affiliate links down below for Downtown Camera, B&H, or Amazon.com. Lots of news to cover today. Use the chapters below to see the news you want in the order you want. First up is a new offering from Pentax. Well, it's more of a new flavor of an old offering. Pentax will be releasing the K1 Mark II Silver Edition on September the 25th. The K1 Mark II was released back in February 2018. I would have hoped for a Mark III by now. Instead, we get a color change which I'm sure will look great, but this is one of those telltale signs a company's having trouble. Instead of releasing a new model along with every other camera company in 2020, they're releasing a minor update, or in this case, a different look. I hope Pentax has something a little more exciting for us planned this year if it wants to be relevant. Now, if you're interested, there will be 1,000 units released worldwide. But wait, there's more. Pentax also has plans for 3 new lenses: the 70-200, 50mm, and the 85mm. Now, the 85mm won't be available until January 2021. Pentax is only making 600 units of each focal length. Hopefully, the K1 Mark II Silver Edition and lenses do excite as the company doesn't have a single body in the top 10. And with 1,000 units of the Silver Edition being made, they're unlikely to break into the top 10 anytime soon. Speaking of the top 10, are you curious to see how well Canon, Nikon, and Sony are doing? Well, let's have a look. If you thought overheating was impacting Canon R5 sales, you'd be wrong, very wrong. In the first 2 weeks of August, the Canon R5 is outselling all other makes and models in Japan, and this list includes both full-frame and APS-C models. I'm not completely surprised. There's been an awful lot of pent-up demand for a Canon camera with better dynamic range, in-body image stabilization, a fast processor, a better image sensor, and uncropped video modes capable of at least 4K 60. As an owner of the R5, I can say that the R5 produces solid video and great photos. IBIS is one of the best in the market, providing very smooth video without any jerky movements. Sure, I'll admit, I've discovered it myself. There is some wobble when shooting wide, but this should be resolved through lens firmware updates as well as an update in the R5. The R5 is a major step up over the 5D Mark IV. Overheating, while still an issue, but it really doesn't have any effect on the photo side of the camera, and the non-overheating video modes are enough for many of us, which the sales seem to back up. Autofocus has been a strength of Canon, but they've really nailed eye autofocus for people, animals, and even insects. And it's fast. I've yet to miss a single shot. Your subject turns its head, AF locks onto their head, and as soon as it sees an eye, it locks right back, even out to 15 feet. And it's likely to go even further, but with the full-frame camera that the R5 is, I've not needed to test it that far out. Sony owners might not understand what the fuss is over, but Canon users have been behind the competition for years. Many, like myself, have held up upgrading, waiting for Canon to either catch up or eventually switch to Sony, and moving platforms is very expensive, so many of us have waited. The R5 brings Canon back to being competitive again. But the big news is not so how much Canon dominates the top spot in Japan, but how Sony dominates the top 5 with the A7 III, A6400, and the A7 III kit in positions 2, 3, and 4. Sony could own the top 10 once the A7S III and A7 IV are released. Canon, on the other hand, only has 2 cameras in the top 10. And the question is, where will the R6 land? And despite talks of Nikon's financial troubles, like Sony, they have 4 cameras in the top 10. Will the Nikon R6, will the Canon R6 make it to the top 10? Well, we'll know very shortly. The Canon R6 will show up in customers' hands later this week. According to Canon rumors, retailers expect the first allotment of Canon EOS R6s today, with the R6 shipping out on August the 27th. We'll just have to wait a few weeks to see if it lands in the top 10 or not. But what will the top 10 look like by November? We've got the Panasonic S5, Canon R6, Sony a7S III, and the Sony a7 IV in the market by then. Will Sony reign king in the top 10? Will Canon add a third camera to the list? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. I haven't really done a behind the scenes in a long time, so I thought it'd be good to do it today. The first thing I want to talk about is my white balance recently. In the last couple of days, I changed my lighting, and I'm quite happy with the results, and based on the comments I've gotten back from you, you guys are really happy with the results. But problem is, when I start fiddling around the camera and trying different things every now and then, and I don't know if I'm doing this intentionally or if I'm just hitting the wrong button, because really you've got 3 different wheels to scroll through the menus, and it's very easy to tap the wrong button. So you know what I did? White balance, I set it to auto white balance. So what would happen is, I guess the camera got confused by, I've got a light here at 5600 degrees and these two at 3300 degrees. So it got confused, and every now and then it would kind of shift over to the blue, then a little bit back to the warmer colors. So what I did yesterday, I finally spent a good, 10-15 minutes or so after the video, and I went through the different temperature ranges, and instead of setting it to shade or instead of setting it to other different lighting modes that are the presets, I actually fiddled around with different color temperatures. Anything above 5000 just looked a little bit too hot, a little bit too red. And if I got down around 4000, well, it was like I was in a sci-fi movie. Things were way too much to the blue spectrum. But I ended up with 4600, and 4600 seemed to have a good balance between not turning my lips blue, but also giving me a nice soft bluish background. I think it's a nice mix. But let me know what you think. Do you like this? I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be 4600. I could take it up to about 4800, but I think around 47 to 4500 gave me the best look. But I just have to wait and see. Let me know what you think, what I should do with the color temperature, or do you think it's perfect the way it is? I also want to talk about my progress in the new format. I started this channel back on October the 26th or 27th of last year. I'm not a new channel anymore. I've been doing this for the better part of a year, a good 9 months. And I've learned a lot. It's very different being in front of the camera than being behind the camera. My lighting's dramatically improved, and a lot of that's come in the last couple of weeks thanks to the advice you guys have given me. My audio's improved as well. I've got more gear, and my format's changed a little bit. Right up till about, I guess, the end of July, everything was greatly focused on news and rumors, and the R5 was dominating, then the a7S III was dominating. And I was putting out as much as 4 videos a day. In hindsight, that was probably a little bit too much, but things were happening so fast and things were exciting, and I wanted to help grow my channel, and I wanted to be the first out there, and I was. I went from 1,000 subscribers in January to about 5,000 subscribers in June to 13,000 subscribers today. So I've changed my format around. I've decided, because I'm at work and I want to be able to focus on work during the day and not even have to look at anything or think anything Canon or Nikon or Sony, I'm not going to be producing videos in my breaks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till the end of the day, and I usually finish work around 4, and I'll scan the news, see what there is, and then I'll put that into a format. And then maybe around 7 o'clock at night I'll record it, see if anything else has come out, because this is when Asia starts to wake up. And if not, I'll record at 7 o'clock at night, and then it'll come out at 7 a.m. in the morning, and these are Eastern time zones. That's the same time zone as Toronto or New York or even Miami. And I'm going to try this format out for a while. Now this format is going to be for news and rumors. When I do reviews, camera gears or microphones, I'm going to do those in separate videos, and they'll be released, well, who knows? It depends on when I get them done, right? So they won't adhere to the 7 o'clock time, because if I've got news and a review, well, the news will come out and we'll have to put the camera review at some point else. And I'm not sure what time to do that. We'll just have to wait and see what day it is. The other thing I want to talk about is a mistake that I made the other day. And this is kind of keeping in with the progress and learning to improve and, deal with my mistakes and not be perfect at everything. Yesterday, I referred to f11, which is f-stop or aperture, as the focal length. I didn't even catch this in post, and obviously I know it's aperture, I know it's not the focal length, but you just get used to saying things. There's so many different terms. You got f-stop, focal ratio range, focal rate. See, even there I said focal rate. That's not even a term. you just get in the mood. You're trying to deliver, you're trying to talk directly into the lens, you're trying to focus on everything, and then when you're editing, you're looking for anything that just sounds wrong. And here's the thing too, when I'm actually editing, I don't listen to myself at regular speed. I usually go at 2 times the speed, except for when there's an edit, then I'll slow down and hear how the transition works. But most of the times I'm going at twice the speed, so I don't always pick up on things. And what I've learned to do is if I do make mistakes in videos, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just put a little message at the top of the screen or at the bottom of the screen, or I'll laugh at it, leave it in, and oh well. This is not the 11 o'clock news. I'm not Walter Cronkite or whoever's replaced him. He's probably been replaced for a long time. Or I don't even know who are the major news anchors anymore. Anyhow, the point is, I'm an ordinary filmmaker. I'm not aiming for perfection here in my audience. Primarily, while some of you are professionals that are on the cutting edge of technology and cameras, a lot of you are just ordinary folks trying to learn how to use a camera, what camera is best for them, and to get ideas and learn. Or some of you just come here to hear about things that are technology related to cameras or editing. So as I progress and as I get better, sure, my delivery and my presentation is going to get better, but I'm not aiming for perfection. Perfection is very, very expensive. In the business world, perfectionists don't usually last very long. What you want to try and do is, and this is a goal of mine, is to get 80% of the way there. So even when I edit, sometimes I'll look at my edits and go like, you know, you kind of screwed up like yesterday with a white balance, and I thought, do I reshoot? Well, no, let's just leave it as a learning experience. I'll put a mention up there saying, yes, I know what it is. I won't do it again. I'll fix it. And then I spent about 10 or 15 minutes afterwards fixing it instead of re-recording it. Because if I had have re-recorded it, I can guarantee you I probably wouldn't have spent a lot of time fixing it, and I might have just stuck it on shade to give me a slightly warmer look. But that's a big part of doing this. If you're thinking of setting up a YouTube channel, one of the things I can say right away is start. Don't wait for a better camera. Don't wait for a better lens. Just start doing it. No one's going to watch you when you start. Your friends aren't going to know about it. Unless your friends are into photography, then there's a small chance they might, but so very few people will get to see your videos. Don't worry about that. Then the next thing is, after every video you do, review what you did. What did you do wrong? And then for the next video, take a few of those things and try to fix them. Don't try to fix everything. Yes, there are some people that do a really good job. They'll spend a couple of weeks, they'll do some research, they'll plan everything out, and they'll deliver a great video, and they'll just shoot to the top. But someone's got to win the lottery, right? Always someone's going to win the lottery, but there's millions who don't. And for the rest of us, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. So publish something, review, tweak it, and that's what I've been doing here for the past 9 months. I've been just pushing forward. I produced over 260 videos in 9 months. Yeah, 260 videos. And if you go back a month, take a look at those videos, you'll see a definite improvement. The month before that, each month you should notice an improvement, and I'm getting better and better. And I'm enjoying this. I'm learning a lot. The R5 has really changed my game. Shooting on manual in the R5 it's kind of like the equivalent of a car analogy. It's like driving manual in a Formula 1 car versus driving manual in a Hyundai. They're completely different. They behave completely differently. Early on, I had problems with exposure, and I learned how to deal with that. I set the ISO, I set the f-stop, and I set the shutter speed. And really what I should have done is set the shutter speed, set the f-stop, let the ISO float, and then fix the exposure. And that's for all those videos shooting outside. Inside, it's very different because my lighting doesn't really change. I've got the 5600 degree ring light here. I've got these two lights here that are 3300. I've got the one light at top. Good grammar, speak me English not. I've got another panel light up top here that's pointing down at me at a 45 degree angle, and then I got another light behind me that's aiming at the black screen to give it a bit more, well, to separate me from the background a bit more. And I know that light isn't bright enough. I want to get a different light in here and change that, but I'm looking at doing some changes with microphones in a little while, and I'm going to be getting some more lenses in here to do some reviews. So I'm always changing. But thanks so much for your comments. I still read them. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get back to them. I usually publish my videos at 7 in the morning, and I usually have about 10 or 15 minutes by the time I've gotten ready for work and start work to comment but I do take them to heart. You guys have really helped me with so many things in the past. I still think of what Bogdan did. He designed that whole front logo, or that new intro for me with the logo and everything, and I think that was a terrific job. You guys have helped me with lighting and so many other things, so very, very much appreciated. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win the Canon EOS R5. Details are in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.